This movie is based on a true story. Cindy has long been haunted by nightmares of being unable to get out of a deep lake. In the next scene, we see a woman named Lori singing a lullaby to her friend's son. A wake is being held at the house. Cindy is receiving condolences, trying to hold herself together. Lori is supporting her friend who has lost her husband. Later, the women were washing dishes together. Cindy can't stop crying, not knowing how she will endure this. Lori promised that she would always be there for her and Tyson. 5 years have passed. Waking up in the morning, Cindy still hoped to see the husband next to her out of habit. Family photos in the house remind her of the past. Cindy keeps a diary and writes poems, but she is not yet ready to show them to anyone. For now, Lori is living with a friend to help her. Soon Tyson, who is into sports, has the season opener. But the boy didn't seem at all nervous before the big game. During the match, Tyson performed brilliantly. The mother was his biggest fan, as was Lori. A charismatic man approached Cindy, who was selling hot dogs, and started a conversation, advising her to put the son into professional sports because it would open up great opportunities for him. This man named Randy Roth also has a son, Greg. The boy suggested that Cindy go on a date with his father, which made her embarrassed. Truth be told, Randy wouldn't mind meeting Cindy and left her his phone number. That evening, Cindy hesitated for a long time before calling Randy. She had long since gotten used to such exciting feelings. The next morning, seeing Randy with a bouquet of flowers at the doorstep, Lori invited him in. She was genuinely happy for her friend, who was going on a date for the first time since the husband's demise. Finally, Cindy came downstairs. Randy gave her the flowers and said how stunning she looked. Lori wished the friend and her new acquaintance a good time. They were going to a restaurant. Meanwhile, Lori was watching TV with Tyson and sensed that something was bothering him. The boy admitted that he was worried about the mother's date. Cindy and Randy were strolling around the city. Like Cindy, Randy is a widower. He misses his late wife Janice very much. In the evening, Lori saw Cindy and Randy through the window as he drove her home. Later, Cindy shared with her friend that for the first time since losing the husband, she met a man who could win her heart. Cindy and Randy started dating. Their sons became friends. Lori met Randy's friends, a married couple named Megan and John Carlson. While talking to them, Lori noticed that Randy was too close to their daughter Dana. However, Cindy doesn't see a problem, believing that Dana is like a second child to Randy. The girl has struggled with being overweight for a long time, and Randy helps her organize a healthy diet. Later, when everyone was eating and chatting, Dana approached Randy and whispered something to him. Randy raised a toast to celebrate the fact that the girl had lost another 3 pounds. Megan told Lori that Randy pays Dana $100 for every pound she loses. Lori liked this situation less and less. Plus, Randy was in the military in the past. He raises his son in a strict manner. Greg is very polite and does not neglect household chores. Lori couldn't contain her curiosity and asked Randy how he lost his wife. Randy replied that it happened while they were mountain climbing. It was an accident. Some time later, upon learning about Cindy and Randy's engagement, Lori told her friend that she might be rushing because they had only been dating for a few months. But Cindy considers Randy perfect. However, Lori feels that Randy is not as wonderful as he tries to seem. Soon the couple celebrated their engagement. Lori was also present. Greg thinks Cindy is really sweet and is happy that she will be part of their family. Randy and his son are going to move into Cindy's house. Randy assured Lori that he doesn't mind her living here. At least for now. At night, Lori woke up to Cindy's screams and rushed to her room. Tyson woke up too. Randy was attacking Cindy while she was calling for help. Lori pulled Randy away from her. Surprisingly, Cindy stood up for Randy, insistently asking her friend to leave the room. After this, Cindy hugged the crying man. Lori was bewildered. The next day, while Randy was coaching the boys, Lori asked her friend about the previous night. Cindy explained that after his military service, Randy suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. Later, while changing the bed linen in Greg's room, Lori noticed it was wet. The boy was very embarrassed and asked her not to tell his father. Of course, Lori didn't tell. In the evening, Randy cooked a delicious dinner. He is obsessed with healthy eating. By the way, Cindy and Randy are going on their honeymoon. Lori and Dana are taking care of the children for the time being. Randy still pays the girl for losing weight, and Lori finds it strange. Later, while Cindy was packing for the upcoming trip, Lori asked her about Randy and Dana's relationship. Cindy replied that he is just helping her through a difficult time. Lori decided to change the topic. During the conversation, Cindy shared with her friend that she was missing passion with Randy. The women didn't know that Randy was eavesdropping on them. Dana stayed overnight. The girl suffers from bulimia but hides it. Lori asked her if Randy ever shows aggression towards others. Dana avoided a direct answer. In Buenos Aires, the couple rented a luxurious suite. Cindy is happy to be a married woman again, But Randy's behavior is becoming increasingly strange. Meanwhile, Lori went down to the basement and accidentally found a bag containing the ashes of Randy's late wife Janice, among his things. Upon returning from the honeymoon, Cindy shared her impressions with Lori, who immediately realized that her friend was withholding something. Lori decided to show Cindy the bag with Janice's ashes. Cindy was upset that Lori had been rummaging through Randy's things and was doing everything to break them up. Lori thinks it's abnormal that Randy is raising Greg like a soldier. There are other troubling signs as well. Cindy didn't want to hear it anymore and asked her friend to move out as soon as possible. Lori did just that. One day Cindy called her and asked her to come over urgently. Lori rushed to Cindy's house without hesitation. Cindy was acting strangely, saying she couldn't start the car and didn't want to bother Randy while he was at work. Despite her confusion, Lori checked the friend's car. Lori felt that was not why Cindy had called her. The women agreed to have dinner together on Sunday. The boys often witness their parents arguing. Randy yells at his wife because he doesn't like the groceries she buys or how she dresses. Only in her personal diary can Cindy share her thoughts. Now she lives in constant fear. Upon learning about his wife's plans to have dinner with Lori on Sunday, Randy said that instead, they would go to the lake as a family. Later, Lori learns that Cindy perished at the lake during vacationing with her husband and children. Lori still can't believe that this is actually happening. Randy became the sole guardian of both boys. He forbade Tyson to cry, saying that men should never do this. In the evening, Lori came to Randy and tearfully asked how it happened. Randy calmly said that it was Cindy's idea to go to the lake. He forbade Lori to see Tyson. She doesn't believe that it was an accident. The demise of her friend was a heavy blow for Lori. She is convinced that Randy was somehow involved. Could it be that his first wife Janice also didn't die by accident? Lori is haunted by nightmares. In the middle of the night, she saw a car parked outside her house. Lori was about to chase the uninvited guest away, but her plans changed when the driver said she had been meaning to come for a long time. The woman introduced herself as Donna Clift, Randy's ex-wife. According to Donna, Randy had made attempts on her life too. Donna's story of meeting Randy is very similar to how it happened with Cindy. Donna was also divorced. At first Randy was very caring, but after the wedding he changed a lot. Donna divorced him before the worst could happen. Randy demands strict adherence to rules from the boys. They live as if in a military barracks. Lori went to the police and told them about her conversation with Donna Clift. The detective said that according to the medical examiner's reports, Cindy's demise was an accident. Lori insisted on a reinvestigation. She knows for sure that Tyson is not safe with his stepfather. However, the police have no reason to suspect Randy. Lori cried, feeling that she had failed Cindy because she didn't take care of her son. Detective Sue Peters promised to do everything she could. Meanwhile, Lori decided to return to Cindy's house and look for clues on her own. Randy had already bought new cars and thrown away all of his late wife's belongings. Lori stated that she had been to the bank today and discovered that her and Cindy's joint safe was empty. Tyson was very happy to see Lori, but Randy didn't allow them to talk. Nevertheless, he did let Lori in. The boys politely offered Lori some food. It was clear how scared they were. Lori made it clear to Randy that she knows the truth and that she is not afraid of him. Lori is convinced that Randy stole Cindy's will from the safe deposit box to ensure Tyson gets nothing. Randy openly mocked Lori, considering her a pathetic lonely woman. Everything that once belonged to Cindy now belongs to him. Tyson begged Lori not to leave, but she had no choice. Lori promised to come back for him as soon as she could. Against the parents' prohibition, Dana was planning to move in with Randy. Megan was crying, and John tried to stop the daughter but she left anyway. Detective Sue Peters found a witness who had previously seen something suspicious at the lake. Donna is now living with her mother. Besides her mother and her cat, she has no one. What happened to Randy's former wives was clearly not an accident. To get back at Donna for talking to Lori, Randy got rid of her cat. The woman was in despair. Lori is outraged by the police's inaction. Detective Peters said that there is still no direct evidence against Randy. Donna Clift is so scared that she refuses to talk to the police. Sue Peters also believes that Randy is guilty, but there is still no basis for his arrest. Lori decided to talk to Megan and John, Randy's friends. She is genuinely worried about Dana, who is now living with Randy and has developed an eating disorder. John didn't want to admit that as a father, he let this happen. Megan on the other hand knows that her husband's friend is having a bad influence on their daughter. Megan isn't even Dana's biological mother but her stepmother, yet she loves her all the same. Lori asked Megan for help to save Dana, Tyson and Greg together. Lori prudently recorded their conversation. It turned out that there was another woman in Randy's life who suffered because of him. The first thing Lori did was to track down Mary Jo Phillips. As in all other cases many years ago, Greg had invited Mary Jo on a date with his father. They were even engaged. Mary Jo shared that Randy was very caring. As a single mother, she appreciated this. However, when Mary Jo refused to insure her life, Randy abandoned her. Dana had become almost a member of Randy's family. Seeing an attractive single mother in the supermarket parking lot, Randy was instantly interested. Greg approached Stacy and asked if she wanted to go on a date with his father. Seeing this, Dana was going crazy with jealousy. Detective Peters managed to obtain a copy of Cindy's will, in which she intended to leave all her property to her son and transfer his guardianship to Lori until he reached adulthood. Despite the official order, Randy refused to give his stepson into Lori's custody. However, when the boy said he wanted to go with Lori, Randy had no choice. He was furious. Detective Peters approached many prosecutors, but they all refused to file a criminal case against Randy due to a lack of direct evidence. All except Marilyn Brenneman, who is convinced that Randy Roth is a cold-blooded criminal. Marilyn Brenneman promised Sue Peters that she would secure a warrant to search Randy's house. Cindy's life was insured, and Randy wanted to receive the payout right away. Suddenly, several police cars pulled up to their house. Randy was arrested. Of course, he denied his guilt. The police searched the house but found nothing that indicated Randy's involvement in his wife's demise. Sue felt that they had missed something. Everyone was deeply disappointed. Returning inside, Sue unexpectedly discovered Cindy's diary. Soon the detective and the prosecutor interrogated Randy. Marilyn Brenneman behaved deliberately friendly to get Randy to cooperate. Dana cried in her room all day. Lori came to visit her and Greg, who was now living with Megan and John. Marilyn Brenneman questioned Randy about his military service and post-traumatic stress. It seemed like he was making it up on the spot. Lori told Dana the whole truth about Randy. In reality, he had never served in the military or even left the country. Everything Randy had told about himself was a lie. Dana cried. She really loved Randy, who had promised to marry her. Randy told the detective and the prosecutor that his marriage with Cindy was perfect. Dana finally reconciled with her parents. Megan sincerely thanked Lori and promised that they would take care of Greg. Marilyn Brenneman read Randy an excerpt from Cindy's diary, where she wrote about how much she feared her husband. Randy had nothing to say in response. Sue finally achieved justice for Cindy and the other women. Thanks to Lori, all his victims united to testify against him in court. Thus Cindy's sacrifice was not in vain. Lori is raising Cindy's son as her own. Then the voiceover tells us that the real Randy Roth was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Justice was served thanks to the women's testimonies in court. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.